Hola, hola, hola. How are you? Of course, you know when I start with Wagwan, hola, hola, habari yako, wamaste. I am in Nyabohanse. So today, when traveling through the streets of Nyabohanse, and of course I'm following Rocio closely, I got about very important details that I'm going to share. Now, of course, one thing that we notice about Rocio is, so Rocio is having a lot of fun in UK, by the way. However, there are things we've just noticed. Like, look at the aspect that she is indicating. She had to switch from one room to another, and of course she was showing us a bigger room. And she was indicating that there are better provisions than the previous one, as a way of appreciating, though many people will take it as a way of saying, yeah, you would have given me this first. Now, of course, we have seen also Rocio indicating that Maisha is unwell, and he came from Nyabohanse when he's unwell, but the illness has continued. Now, my blame on Rocio is, why is she still walking around with this baby when she knows very well that he's a bit of unwell? Because if I was a mother, the first thing I would do is to run to a hospital, take care of the baby before I continue with my journeys or ventures. It doesn't hurt to, to wait until the child is well, because of course if you have the dollars, you have them before you can continue with your journey. She was talking about exchange and not being sure about whether she exchanged well. Does that show that she doesn't trust those who are guiding her? Because I'm very sure possibly she was guided by those who are helping her around. Yeah, now we also saw the narrative change. When she was in Nyabohanse, she was like, I don't want to go about with the YouTubers and all that. But now the narrative has changed and she's walking around with YouTubers, of course, some of whom are, followers of Maru. And of course, I'm telling you, it is very clear that the black people are the ones that have time for anyone in America, and they are so informed that they know even Spanish language. So let's get here.
Who knows the story behind? If you know the story behind, let me know in the comments.
Yeah, so let's see that.
Very big. And probably that is the train that I'm actually taking to go to Brussels. Brussels is my next destination, and I will be trying this super fast train. I heard it would only take me 2 hours to reach to
Yeah, so guys, what have you seen there, and what would be your criticism, both positive and negative, on this aspect here? Just what I've shared. What do you think? Because as for me, whenever I travel with a kid anywhere, when I have a small kid and they are unwell, I first handle the illness. But Rocio was here talking about the boy being a bit ill. Then she's just daring it, going into the cold and, walking in places with the kid. I don't know. I don't know. Now, the second thing again that I was clearly looking at in this video, and I had to look at it in a different perspective, is, she's appreciating the people she's with because of the Spanish language. Of course, you are so proud to find people who speak your language. For example, if I came from Kenya today and maybe I've traveled to a different country and I get people who speak my language, I would be so proud to talk with them off camera. But I don't know why she didn't appreciate the first thing, that these are blacks, Is it insinuating the aspect of her, I've seen a lot of attacks, people saying that she doesn't like blacks because she considers them monkeys. And I don't know whether you realize that she's walking too fast than those who are guiding her. And I was like, okay, are you not proud to be with this person who is guiding you? Did you want maybe to be close to a white or something? And so I noticed the difference of how she handled this lady that was taking her around, and the man who ever came in Kenya, traveled 100 countries, and said he had been in Masai Mara. Did you notice that difference? I don't know if it is my overthinking, but I just want you to compare this
Hola,
this.
soy Facundo, también argentino, trabajando en el Royal National Hotel. Y le damos la bienvenida.
Yeah, and of course, yesterday people were like, this lady is very brainy, very, clever. Very clever. And of course, you see the switching of language and what have you is giving her a lot of relevance. Of course, the target she had of audience might just get there because we are following her as she keeps posting from different positions to another, the way she's showing here and there. And you saw that part whereby she was appreciating the traditional and modern aspect of London and taking us to the train. And what did she show us? There is this, the Mona Lisa, I believe. I don't know why she didn't research about this picture, actually. Because there is history behind this. If I'm going to a place, then I would have to research about a certain picture or let the person who is directing me tell me about it. Like, what is the history behind it? She was just saying they are hugging, maybe saying farewell. It's not proper in a vlog to give people about, rumors. What do you think about this? I thought she should have gone to give us, factual aspects than rumors, or rather thoughts, thoughts about whatever happened to bring this picture here. Alright, then we saw now the final part where they are sitting in a park and enjoying the sun. But I didn't like the fact that they are sitting near someone who is, I don't know whether it was smoking. Actually, that's what I saw from my perspective. And you have a kid sitting close to someone who is smoking as you wait to to get to the next destination. That is something I didn't like in a mother doing that. Maybe they should have sat away from here and their storytelling, like they are talking a lot here, greeting the mothers, the fathers. And I was like, okay, even though you are using Spanish, but there's translation, why can't you greet also the people at Nyabohanse, your family, your immediate mother-in-law, daughter, sister-in-law, the brothers-in-law, your husband, and all that, so that we don't only see that off camera. The speculations people are making can stop if you dare, you try doing that. A clever move, right? Now let's come back to Nyabohanse and see what we have to get here. Of course, all of you know that Gintu is in a mourning mode. They call him a master of lies. The master of lies has lost the father. The old father was appearing in videos will never now be seen. And of course, from the message from the sister, it was clear that the father died at night. They were called, and I saw somebody, was it Arnesto, sharing the same story, that they had lost the old man in hospital. I was about to just ask whether Gintu had deserted the father for YouTube. He walks a lot in the streets, going to Kisumu, coming back to Kuria, to the border. And I was like, did he neglect the father? So I just kept on checking the videos, and I saw the sister Kate indicating that he had been in the hospital before that day, earlier on. Okay, so Gintu, sorry. So then I came to this aspect, the Nyabohanse drama. I'm looking at when Gintu and Arnesto are doing a video on Matiko. And I wondered, why couldn't they remind him to maybe just even be appreciative of on camera about what David Jr. had done? People may be ill, maybe bad, as we say, but what was so wrong in just telling David Jr. Thank you? And maybe if they have a plan to return the 60,000 they had been talking about, they return, but they should appreciate and say at least it is because of him that they got those medicines. And I'm wondering, how is Arnesto and Gintu going to ensure that Matiko will be taking this medication, in a way that he will not stop and become crazy again? Because from their report, if he stops, he will become mentally disturbed. And I looked at the father who is just borrowing there. Hey, this family, I told you they are sick. So the father is there. For once, Gintu was saying that he's sober. In fact, not Gintu. Arnesto was saying that he's for the first time sober. And maybe if he continues to be like that, then he will be better. Because people don't earn certificates Can you imagine a young person reminding you as an old person that people don't earn certificates in drinking? Yeah? And this is one prayer that people should give for Nyabohanze, that just as we heard yesterday, Marwa saying that this village is full of drunkards, may God actually deliver them from this, so that from this old man, he should quit drinking. He should quit drinking, so that even his sons will stop it, because it's actually a very desperate situation here. So then I was just wondering at that point why Matiko has not been encouraged even by Gintu and Arnesto to just say thank you for that. And even if they are returning money, they appreciate for whatever David Jr. did. I don't know. You'll be dropping in the comment section what you think about this. Was it too bad that the division between David Jr. and Matiko was too bad that he could not even appreciate? I don't know. And then we get to the side. Let's get to the side and see. There is something I saw at the side that as I appreciate Dimwango for whatever she's doing, the construction, the upcoming villa, there is something I saw here that I need to talk about. Yeah, so of course Dimwango also just said the same statement the brother said, that when she begins construction, she wants these people to have gumboots, or else she will deduct from their salary.
Hakuna mtu anakuja site bila gumboots. Tumeelewana? Murimi, ukurichi gumboots. Ama nakata kila mtu pesa ya gumboots, ya siku naenda nafanya nini? Nakupatia.
Sasa ona. Badia mambo mengi. Ndio leta gumboots. Atachukua anaondoka.
Lazima, mimi lazima gumboots
both ordering these drunkards in the village, because of course that is what we got yesterday, the drunkards, including Mayuguno, not Mayuguno actually, including this man also, Murimi, the foreman Murimi. The foreman Murimi and the rest have been reminded to have gumboots. Failure to have them, they'll not be allowed to the site. If they'll want to, the money will be deducted, then they'll be given before they work. Yeah? And I was just asking myself, of course, they have worked in so many sites here. What has happened? Of course, it's for safety measures, we understand. But what happened? Because from the construction that are being conducted in this place, these people should have bought the gumboots long ago, when we look at the price. So then, why did she have to shout again on camera? That's my question. Just as the brother did, if you watch the other video, he also shouted at the workers, indicating that they come with gumboots or they stop working. Yet the villa is already complete. The park is going on. I didn't even pay attention in the current video to see how the workers were. Yeah, so why did she shout? That is what I've not understood. Yeah. Now, in the same video, you saw the mother to the 3 kings in the valley, celebrating to have had such kids. In fact, the question was posed by Dimwango, are you proud as a mother? And I don't know why she hesitated. Is she not sure that she should be proud about them? Is the noise on YouTube catching up with her? Does she fear, by standing in the controversial land, that she should not say she is proud? Or what was it that made her not to be proud? She only had to murmur later that she is happy about the hardworking daughters. Of course, we congratulate her because she's making a progress. She's making progress regardless of the noise here and there. When this video was starting, remember this lady went talking about bitter. And I was saying, like, is it Karoti or who? Is it Karoti? Because Black Beauty is not that old. And, okay, there's a certain lady I've seen also, she's a bit old. The ones who give the negative analysis. There's one. Is it Pamela or somebody? So I was like, is she trying to hit back at Pamela and Karoti by insinuating that you either work hard and become better, have what you want, age gracefully, or die as a bitter, jealous woman, always complaining and attacking others. That is what statement she gave. And I was like, is it Karoti? Or is it Pamela? Or who exactly? Because the people who are coming up to critique whatever is happening here are a lot of people. And in fact, of course, people decide whether they'll be looking at the strength and talking about them, or they'll be looking at both sides, or they'll be looking at the weakness. So I was like, okay, you are very hardworking, sister, very hardworking, and you've been lucky. God has really given you the grace. But then you always say you don't care about the noise. Why then are you talking about this? Yeah? Because, you know, when you hit back, you give you are giving the bonga points to the attackers. Why then would you have to say that you either work hard or this? And that statement clearly, to anyone who is seeing whatever happens around you, knows what you are meaning. They know. Unless otherwise, they understand clearly.
Had all the days of our lives like men. So for us to age gracefully, we need to plan how we're gonna age, you know, so that you don't be a bitter woman, gossiping, feeling jealous because other people are working hard while you are gossiping, hating. Now you are aging as a bitter woman. No, we don't need that. We need to age gracefully, having a beautiful home, feeling relaxed, you know, and just being a blessing, you know. So let me know, do you want to age gracefully, or do you want to age as a bitter old woman? Let me know. Choose your pain.
Now, it finally get to the villa, and here we got the apps. Of course, the park getting ready. Yeah, the car parking is getting ready, with the engineer making sure that everything is in place, ensuring the stones are put in place, the workers are eating, addition of ugali here and there. The size is large enough to fit in all kinds of vehicles. The only thing I saw was like, there's too much multitasking, that I don't know whether you're paying attention to all the details here at the same time, the other side of construction. Don't we have someone trustworthy in this village that can be given that assignment on the other side, maybe, either in your own villa or the other side, so that you don't seem to be running around from here to here, receiving this, going here. In the process, you may be too tired, or you may be exhausted, or you may lose it all. So that maybe later on you realize there are some mistakes or errors that were done without your knowledge, you know. And of course, there is this statement you post and said, people say this and that. Let's just look at this.
And then people label you names. Oh, he's this, he's that. Oh my God. Yeah. It's easy to say things.
So in that statement, what did you mean by saying people will say this and that? I'm going to the same statement I said to your sister. You've always say you live your truthful life and you don't care about what people say. But it turns out that you are not telling us the truth, because it seems you're worried about what people say. Then they'll say. You are working hard, but people will say. Why care about what people will say if you are a milestone away? Just guide them on what to do. And as I said earlier, I don't think it's essential to actually stop them from watching, because let them keep watching. They're adding hours, they're adding views. So whether they are going to give negative information on whatever you are doing or whatever, that shouldn't matter a lot, because you are who you are anyway. So let's end this. I say adieu.